Hello, my name is Roman and I'm currently developing my first major title. A massive online multiplayer RPG set in the world of... Who am I kidding? It's a golfing game, with a few personal touches on the stale genre. I'm also a solo developer, which can only mean quite a number of things actually. Besides constant struggles with motivation, self-doubts and panic attacks, I have no one to answer to. Which also means I have nothing to lose by just going full open depth with it. The plan is to try my best to document and share as much of the development and personal experience, hopefully on a constant basis. I have already been working on this game for a little over a year, using any scrap of time between office and sleep, like a reckless sociopath, which apparently I am. I've also been compulsively tracking every single hour I spent on the game in my development journal, which I keep for both my sake and just for my sake really. It keeps me accounted for every hour I spent or procrastinate on the tasks at hand. Check it out, it's filled with all kinds of nerd stats and stuff. Game design was always a passion of mine, but my background is primarily in design. I have worked with 3D modeling and rendering software since I was 12. Along the way I picked up coding and a bunch of other skills, which I happily abused towards the goal of releasing this game. So, why golf? A couple of reasons really. Over the years I've built a bunch of simple prototypes, ranging from first-person shooters to tower defenses and tactical strategies. But every time I've found myself realizing the scope of the project being just too big for a single developer, never mind the first game. So I've minimized the scope with each subsequent prototype until finally settling on the golfing genre. And how exactly is this genre of games different? Well, for one, you can get by without a lot of stuff actually. I mean, characters and animations can go, so the story and dialogues, voiceovers, complex world building, NPCs and so much more. So yeah, that is definitely a big plus for a lone dev. And the other thing of course... Ball games are just fun, and physics-based games are fun as hell. Look at the majority of real-world sports and games out there, and let me know when you spot a common theme. This is not a small list. Seems like, as a human species, we have some weird Freudian obsession going on here. We love our balls and playing with them. But what I personally find fascinating about those kind of games is that, no matter how good or bad you may be, one lucky hit could turn the game around, which in turn makes these kind of games so accessible and unpredictable. I realize this video is coming out a bit all over the place. Here's a sample footage from the game as it stands right now. Consider this whole mess of a devlog as an introduction, and I'll try to be more on point in my next videos, in which I'll focus on the game itself, instead of rambling about. If you're a soldier and still watching, I'm planning to keep this series running long, so join me on this fool's journey, subscribe to my YouTube channel, check out my Patreon and Twitter pages, join the Discord server, or just stalk me on any of the other social media sites. And before I made any promises and shot my future self in the leg, everything you'll see here is subject to change. The art style, the design, the genre, especially the name. There isn't even a single working title, by the way, so any suggestions will be much appreciated. Thank you for your attention, and I'll see you next time.
Subscribe to my YouTube channel, leave a comment, like this video, boy. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Twitter, you are beautiful, like this video, boy.